Hi there. I'm Dave Finnegan, and my life's experience has led me to create this talk and to propose a program to help solve the most urgent problem humankind is facing today: climate change or global warming. It all started with a 10-year mini career from 1966 through 1976 when I worked in international family planning programs, principally in South Korea and Taiwan, but including short-term consultancies in Indonesia, Thailand, and Nepal. In each of those countries, my local colleagues and I trained hundreds of thousands of young local women as field workers who worked almost exclusively with young married neighborhood and village level women on a simple message, and this is it: girls are as good as boys, have only two children, space them well, and get them a good education. The result in Korea, for instance, is that family size went from 6 kids on average to 1.6. Child survival and education soared, and son preference disappeared. And that average per capita income multiplied over 40 times from $800 per year to $35,000 per year. Population in South Korea slowly rose from 30 million when I arrived to almost 50 million, and it's now going down. It's now a high-income, developed country. We experience similar results in Taiwan, Indonesia, and Thailand. I finished up that period of my life with a 3-year stint in the Philippines, where our advice was ignored, thanks to an agreement between Corazon Aquino and the Cardinal of the Philippines, Jaime Sin, that he would support her people-powered revolution if she would dismantle the National Family Planning Program. As a consequence of not having adopted our program, population in the Philippines, which was coincidentally the same as Korea, or about 30 million when I arrived, has quadrupled to 120 million. And per capita income, which was the same as Korea in 1966, has merely tripled. The Philippines is destined to have a population of over 200 million within the next 30 years because the parents of the next generation have already been born. It's fated to remain a low-income or developing country, and cynics might call it a never-to-be-developed country. In this phase of my life, I learned that cultures can change when millions of families make decisions and when that new ethos bubbles up from families throughout society. Next, I enjoyed a 30-year career spending a full day, including family night, in each of over 2,000 elementary and middle schools in 46 states and 7 countries, teaching juggling with slow-moving nylon scarves. My books, The Joy of Juggling and The Complete Juggler, were translated into 7 languages and sold over 1 million copies. That program was called Juggling for Success, and it helped launch the worldwide recreational juggling boom of the 1970s, 80s, 90s, into the 2000s. Our school program always ended with a well-attended family night where the kids taught their parents to juggle, and everyone went home with juggling props and instructional books or videos. The motor for the ongoing program in the school was a chart on the wall where the kids could put up sticky notes showing which of the juggling skills they had attained. Students loved moving their names up the chart and showing it to each other and to other family members when they visited the school. In this phase of my life, I developed a system for working with the entire school family that I realized could work with just about any innovation. Knowing that my experience from these 2 careers could be helpful to the important issue of climate change education and action, in January 2007, I applied for and was chosen to be trained by Al Gore for 3 days in Nashville. The scary slideshow I was given there was so terrifying that I only presented it once to a high school group, but I immediately realized I needed to redesign the program to be appropriate for and helpful to my chosen audience, elementary school kids and their parents. My goal was to get them to take action. So I started a program called Climate Change is Elementary that I delivered successfully for a decade in schools in Massachusetts, Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, Maryland, and Colorado. I modeled that program on Juggling for Success. And I spent a full day seeing the kids one grade level at a time, bringing the issue to their attention in a grade and age appropriate manner, and ending with a well-attended family night in the evening where kids shared what they had learned with their parents. Every family went home with a checklist of 100 steps they could take to go green, ranging from free actions like adjusting the thermostat to expensive ideas like driving 100% electric or putting solar panels on the roof. But when I went home to Florida, I found that I could not present a program with climate change in the name anywhere in the state. So, with the help of over 60 undergraduate interns in sustainability from the University of Central Florida, I created a program designed to be both politically and religiously ecumenical because it teaches families how to save energy, save water, and save money and go green without mentioning trigger terms like global warming, climate change, or sea level rise. Now I'm prepared to teach others to deliver that program with the intention of starting a movement in North America that will create bubbles of change at the household level that will eventually rise through and permeate society and will meet and mesh with the mandates for change that are trickling down from the United Nations and from national governments. Our Green Actioneers Family Action Guide is an expansion and elaboration of the checklist we used in our previous program. It's backed up by a website that gives more depth on the 100 actions that are proposed. The large format 246-page book tells the story in English and Spanish of 3 diverse families, one from downtown, one from the suburbs, and one from a mini farm on the edge of town, whose kids all go to Watson Elementary. At the end of the book, we meet a Native American girl named Awinita, whose family has finally let her come to the school because of the transformation taking place there. Her small sub-community is not just sustainable, they're regenerative, and they've been protecting the headwaters of the stream that flows through the town for hundreds of years as new residents have moved in from Europe, Asia, and Africa. The print book includes a coloring book for the youngest readers, games and puzzles based on the contents, and appropriate quotes from notable people on the environment. We've left blank spaces in the book for QR codes and URLs of companies that want to bring their green products and services to the attention of our families. This program is intended to bring to the conversation kids and parents who would otherwise be left out of the discussion, because we don't require anyone to believe that the climate is changing or that people are responsible. If dad is a hunter, he'll have more game to shoot. If he's a fisherman, he'll be able to eat his catch. If he works outside, there'll be more trees for shade. And if he's a farmer, his soil will be healthier. Every family can keep their strongly held beliefs as they save energy, water, and money and become sustainable. We don't want to scare anyone. We want them to act out of hope, not fear. We hope that they will decarbonize and consume less, travel less, build less, and eat less wastefully, and that together, over the next decade or so, we'll go through an energy and lifestyle transition that will allow us to stabilize civilization and avoid ecological collapse. The motor for the ongoing program in each school will be a chart in the hallway that says "Our Green Actions" across the top, where kids can put up sticky notes telling everyone what steps from the book they've taken to go green. We intend to build a digital equivalent of this chart for homeschool families to use. Because at the age of 82, I do not need to do more than break even with this project. Everyone can get involved in the program by either downloading the entire manuscript for free or by purchasing one copy to show around at school, or by buying enough books to give one to every family at family night. Our measure of success is not how many books we sell. But how many schools and how many families take this program to heart and transition from high to low use of energy and water, aiming at becoming regenerative and attaining a zero carbon footprint? By the way, we don't need to create a national organization like Scouting or Rotary or 4-H, because every school or similar organization can use the book as a handbook to design their own program, and we can stay in touch using social media. At this stage of the program, I'm looking for allies to help this idea grow and spread from coast to coast and to other countries as well. If that hits you in the heart, please get in touch. Our goal is for every family to become indigenous to their own habitat, to learn to live in balance, and to do this with conviviality and equality as overarching principles, so that what we may lose in material goods, we more than make up for in happiness. At my funeral, I want someone to say, Dave Finnegan made several contributions to society. Among them was creation of Green Actioneers, one of the necessary steps for us all to take to solve the climate crisis. Thanks a lot. I'm Dave Finnegan. I'm the first Green Actioneer, but I'm certainly not the last.